Through Pine Lodge Studios from Richmond Oval, Broad Spectrum Oval. Today's round 15 clash between Glenelg and West Adelaide, and it's top versus bottom. And with me today is Rob Green and Daniel Frangos. And boys, before we start, your tips, please.
I'm going to tip Glenelg to win this game by 7 or 8 goals, John.
Yeah, I'm certainly picking the Tigers today, and to record the 12th win in a row. And yep, the West Adelaide, obviously the bottom team, so I guess it might be a bit closer, guys, than a lot of people expect, but still the Bays to win today.
Yeah, I can't see West Adelaide getting anywhere near. It looks like they've won the toss and kicking to the right of screen, so that might be helpful for West Adelaide, kicking with the aid of what appears to be a strong breeze. So we're in the centre now, and it'll be Cranston versus Clark for West Adelaide. Umpire bounces the ball. Cranston up. Out comes Backwell with the long sleeve Guernsey. Gets slung to the ground, gets the handball away nicely. Glenelg, I made a mistake. Glenelg kicking with the aid of the breeze. For West Adelaide, that's young Rowe. Spins and turns, can't get the ball away. Lenny Clark's there for West Adelaide. On the ball there is a pack of players. The umpire comes in and throws the ball up. So my mistake there. Glenelg winning the toss, kicking to that southern end to the right of your screen.
And Glenelg have won 5 of the past 6 between the two sides, so also got good recent form against the Bloods.
Another ball up after that stoppage, and blustery conditions out here today at Broad Spectrum Oval, and you'd expect to see a few skill errors today, Dan.
You certainly would, and this may help the Bloods make the game a bit closer with this blustery wind, making it hard for the Tigers to score as well.
And Panozzo wrapped up, quite possibly best on the ground for the Bays last week out at the Prospect Oval in the long sleeves. The bounce down again. A few changes this week for West Adelaide, who were competitive up at Doggyland last week. Ball comes clear. Handball away to Filkey, who won the Rising Star last weekend. His kick out towards the lead of Willets. Willets called to play on. He went off the line. Handball's over to Bailey. Bailey's pursued by Holmes, but gets his kick away, but only as far as Mules. Keeps it in front. Reliable player Mules. Handball to Adlington. Back towards Kane. He's got Backwell across the ground. Backwell now in time and space towards the middle of the ground. Sherwood there, but intercepted beautifully by Gregory Rowe into the side this week for the Bloods, Daniel.
Yeah, he's in the side, and yeah, well, that's here's a chance for West Adelaide. Good to see Willets lining up in the key attacking post, and he really needs to stand up against his old club today, Willets.
So Collins, known for that sort of mark himself as an AFL footballer. Rowe now, 70 metres out, drives it in towards the forward line. There was Fisher, he's pushed out. Here's Mules. Mules gets his kick away, and he finds Ben Kane, who will clear out of defence.
Okay, Kane. Long kick down towards that centre wing, using the breeze nicely, looking for his player in Grimer there, but nicely spoiled from behind by Cupido. That's an interesting matchup today, Cupido on Grimer.
Gee, that is an exciting matchup. Two of the most exciting players in the competition on each other, and yeah, gee.
Lenny Clark gets the tap down there, made good position, but it comes to Fisher. Fisher dodges, weaves, handballs across to Kane. Kane looks one way, dodges the other, kicks long again into attack, looking for Grimer. Grimer outnumbered out the back. Moran can't take the mark, and the ball comes out of bounds, half forward line for Glenelg.
Just with that matchup, guys, do you think West Adelaide can kick a winning score with Cupido in defence? And I asked that, I guess, to John as well, as a West man.
Well, he might be in attack next quarter with the breeze. I don't know. But I think Collins may have a tendency to play Cupido where the ball's going.
I saw West Adelaide play last week, and Cupido was in defence, and I really can't work it out. But Collins has paid the big dollars, and he's made the decision.
Okay. Cranston gets a nice thump down there. West Adelaide player tackled from behind. That's McConnell getting a long handball out, but West Adelaide over the ball there in Piazente. Crowd calling for holding the ball. Backwell picks it up. Left-hand handball, finds a man in Cranston. Nicely tackled from behind. Cupido gets the kick, but only as far as Kane it is. Kane kicks the ball forward. The breeze is going to take that out of bounds, and that'll be on the full. And the relieving kick will be taken by young Kurt Thompson for West Adelaide, only playing his fourth game.
Kurt Thompson, the big game on McConnell, goes to Rowe. McConnell, of course, held goalless last week by North Adelaide's Daniel Ward. So the pressure on him this week. And the footy goes back there to young Martin, is it?
Might be Martin, I think. Yep,
It
you're
is
right
Martin. Played a solid game on Daniel Schell last week for the Bloods. Back to Rowe in the midfield early in the action. His kick looking for Kerr.
Oh.
Sold him into trouble. Glenelg got the numbers. It's Fisher. Hands off to Kirkby, who
Bodie.
finds Bode. And the Tigers will line up for their first goal of the day from 40 metres, Daniel.
I'll tell you what, Bode is in absolutely magnificent form in the past month, and if they were picking the state squad now, for example, if there was another state game, I'm sure he would be one of the first picked. He's certainly on form, probably getting a few McGarry medal votes as well.
I think there's a rule not allowing Bode, Nathan Brown and guys like that to play in the state
That's
side.
what I thought, but Perry played, which was against that, wasn't it?
You've stumped me there. Bode misses to the right-hand side, and Glenelg on the Cockatoo Ridge Wine scoreboard register 1 point. They lead West yet to score. And, of course, if you want to call Charles at Pine Lodge and get a copy of this game or any other for that matter, 8271 1669.
Okay, relieving kick in to come from Damien Cupido. Just that, going back to that piece of play, young Greg Rowe got the ball well, but he kicked it to a 2-on-1 situation there, and Glenelg took some advantage of that, didn't convert it to a goal. Kick out into the breeze by Cupido's a beauty. He's punched that beautifully. Should have taken the mark then, West Adelaide, not completed. Moran's around the ball, Glenelg over the ball there. Holmes gets a handball out. Oh, nicely played there by the Glenelg player. Holmes again backs up his handball. Ball comes to ground and the umpire comes in and says, I'll throw it up. So centre half, nearly at centre half forward for Glenelg, kicking with the aid of a strong breeze in this first quarter, 5 minutes in on the Copy World time clock. Bounce goes down, Cranston up, but big Lenny Clark gets the tap out. That's only as far as Hinge. Hinge gets it onto the boot nicely. Moran's got the ball covered, but so has West Adelaide. He's tackled from behind. That's got to be holding the ball to Justin McConnell. Not paid.
Gee.
Nathan Brown collects the ball, dodges and weaves back to Moran. Moran uses his bulk and gets through and kicks and going for touch here, and the ball will come out of bounds on centre wing. Boys, might have been a bit lucky not to get pinged there.
Yeah, he was a bit lucky, but good to see Moran back playing league football, the Adelaide Crows listed player, and he's getting better with each week. I've seen him recently, and he's on the improve.
Cranston, number one ruckman in the comp, gets it down to Allen, an underrated player. Must have been really close to state selection. Filkey and Clark in there wrapping him up. You know, West Adelaide are going to provide a hard, competitive contest. It's just sometimes their skill level under pressure that lets them down, but it's not their endeavour. Clark works to the front. There's Cranston. Oh, intercepted there by his teammate in Ferguson. Ferguson takes a bounce, kicks to handballs there to Kerr. McCormack now kicks towards the lead out there. Oh, and it was just in front of Fisher, who's on the young Adlington there, and it goes over the line.
And a bit of a fight off the ball here, guys. Backwell is in there, Allen, and that is about 80 metres away from the play, and they've just broken it up now.
West Adelaide don't want to do anything to lose the ball here. They've got into a rare foray into attack here. Ball comes in. Cranston picks the ball up nicely for a big fella. Can't get the ball away, though. It's tackled well. Players converge on the ball, and the umpire comes in and will bounce the ball. No score yet to West Adelaide. 1 point to Glenelg. 7.5 minutes in on the Copy World time clock today. Bounce of the ball. It's Cranston versus Lenny Clark. Lenny Clark pushes him in the back. Cranston got the ball down to Holmes. He's a tough player, this Holmes. Is tackled to the ground. He'll get some hard possessions today, boys.
Yeah, it's certainly not a bad start from the Bloods.
I call him Holmes. Holmes, it's Allen. I'm sorry. It's Allen.
It's Allen, but you wouldn't think this is top v bottom at the moment. It's a pretty even contest in general play, and if West Adelaide can kick the first goal, well, you never know.
Okay, ball comes clear now. And again, we might see a fair bit of this today, as Rob mentioned, blustery day here at Richmond Oval. Wind swirling, blowing down and across the ground from the northeast. Bounce goes down. Again, Lenny Clark and Cranston. Big fist away there from Clark. Panozzo over the ball there. Ball comes out of bounds. Now, West Adelaide really need to get a break here from this throwing.
Well, as you're saying there, John, about that blustery conditions, as we've said, that'll play into West's hands, because that brings the skills down and the game closer together, and, well, they've picked out a free kick here as we speak.
Filkey took it out the ruck, but it appears as though Sherwood was held. No, it went to Panozzo. The free kick might have been to Sugars. Away comes Panozzo. Bounce number 2. Feeds it over the top to the captain, Benny Mills, who was under pressure, but taken high. A little bit lucky there, Mills. This handball by Panozzo sold him into trouble.
Willard's had him too.
And Mills taking his time. Could have gone across the ground to Sugars. Goes long down the line in direction of Grimer at the back.
Oh,
Who flies
Freddie.
and takes a beauty.
Oh.
Grimer plays on quickly. Again, another long kick. Looking in the direction there of Doldig, who's but beautifully taken defensively there
Martin.
by Martin, the young fella. Comes across the round to Fisher. Fisher drops what he should have taken. Still has plenty of time, though not a lot of options. Goes very short. Beautifully done by Anderson, who's tackled beautifully by Adlington. Bailey's there. Good contest early, Dan Frangos.
It is a good contest early. It's unexpected at the moment. We all came here today thinking, you know, the Tigers could almost put on a record score here today against a side that's only won one game, but it's certainly game on.
Yeah, Lenny Clark's doing quite well in the ruck. This is down to Hinge, though. The ball comes. Ferguson, who is hard to recognise this week with a haircut. The ball stays in, doesn't go out there. West Adelaide clean up. Coming back here, Cupid will be on the receiving end of a couple of handballs. Back to Ferguson with the haircut. Handball across. This is young Martin, we called earlier.
Oh,
Stood Daniel Shell last week and had 5 kicked on him, but didn't play badly. But it was a bad kick then. Taken by Rory Kirkby for Glenelg, half forward flank. Looks across, looking for young McConnell. Kept goalless last that McConnell?
He was too. McConnell was kept goalless. Doldig was kept goalless last week, and so was Seller. Yet Glenelg kicked a very high match-winning score against the Roosters.
Is that Panozzo that's run down the ground?
That is Panozzo.
Yeah, yeah. Confusing us with the long sleeve Guernsey. He kicks it over to Mules. Mules plays on. I thought he was going to have a shot for goal there. Kicks it deep into attack, into the square though. Nearly a mark to Glenelg. Was it Doldig? Ball comes down. Handball across, but that's straight to West Adelaide, who clean up. Now they're coming across to the defensive side. This is a one-on-one. Piazente out positioned there by Ben Kane. Ball coming forward. Oh, Allen, courage then shown, but West Adelaide clear from defence and with a kick to touch again down the wing. We're seeing this a bit in the first quarter, and the ball will go out of bounds just in front of the players' race here at Richmond.
They're doing all the one-percenters, the Bloods. They're doing a lot of the hard work, smothers, chasing, tackling, kicking the ball, and doing a lot of hard work, the Bloods, and their effort cannot be questioned at the moment.
Morris got it away for the Bloods, but it went only as far as Backwell. Here's Rudolph. Rudolph, he's going to kick long towards the square. He's got Doldig there. Ditched on the back, and Grimer kicks a goal for the Bays, the first of the day. 1-1-7 leading the Bloods, yet to score thanks to Cockatoo Ridge Wines.
He is a star, Todd Grimer, and he's only 21 years of age. His brother Blake is in Adelaide at the moment, playing for the Kangaroos tonight against the Power. He might even be at this game. And Todd Grimer, certainly a chance to be redrafted into the AFL, John.
Yeah, young Matthew Martin there, only playing his 7th or 8th game, just showed a bit of experience, put the hand out, got a hand to it, but couldn't stop the momentum of the ball going through to Grimer, who kicked the goal. It's taken them 12 minutes, and as Daniel and Rob have said, Westies have been pretty stoic in defence so far, but one wonders whether the floodgates might open shortly. So the ball back in the centre. It's taken a while to come back.
Gee.
I think Grimer might have kicked it down to Richmond Road almost, so back it comes. So as we said, for all your DVDs of games, ring Charles at Pine Lodge on 8271-1669. Ball back in the centre will be bounced. Lenny Clark doing a good job against Cranston. Clark again gets the tap down to the youngster Morris for West Adelaide. Couldn't take it. Glenelg take away, but West Adelaide through Nathan Brown, clear, kicking into attack. Looking for young Greg Rowe. I think I'm going to call him Storm Boy today, Greg Rowe. And on the half-forward flank, kicking into the teeth of the breeze. Long kick into that. Willits takes a big mark. Called to play on. Oh, the West Adelaide crowd don't like that. Handball across for Mules. Backwell clears. Long kick looking down there. No mark paid. There's a free kick against Glenelg. Oh,
gee.
There's a free kick for Holmes. Didn't see what it was for. Daniel.
No, I thought the umpire could have let play on there. Glenelg had the ball to advantage anyway.
Holmes chips wide to Fisher. Glenelg today moving the ball out of defence beautifully. And on the other hand, it's the Bloods who are having a difficult time getting it out due to Glenelg's pressure. Kirkby, long kick towards Doldig. Couldn't take the mark. Bodes there at the front of the pack as always. Couldn't get it away was Rowe. Handball away there by Martin. Martin, his handball to Cupido. Cupido on the right boot. Little chip kick. McCormick called to play on. Handball comes away to Brown. To Morris. Oh, Brown slipped over. Did he bring the long stops? Back to Morris. Sells a dummy. Handball to his teammate in Moran. Over the top to Kerr. Doing it by hand. McCormick. pass out towards the lead of Fisher, is it? Fisher stood up. Here's Panozzo, chased by Filkey.
Oh,
great tackle by the youngster.
gee.
Play on, said the umpire. Great action here at Broad Spectrum. Round the body by Willets, but it's going to be taken by Fisher, or will it beat him across? Keeps it in and out of play.
And you can see why the Tigers are such a good side. We all talk about their great forward line, but their defence is perhaps not talked about as much. They only concede 74 points a game. Glenelg's defence is the best in the SANFL.
Cranston over the top, gets a tap down there to Fisher. Fisher over the ball, or Piazzenti over the top of him. No free kick, ball out of bounds in that forward pocket for West Adelaide. Shown some promising signs so far, West Adelaide, with their tackling. Perhaps their disposals letting them down so far, but as the boys have said, showing some spirit so far into this wind. Ball comes in, it's Cranston, this time taps it down nicely, but that's taken by West Adelaide. Oh, the ball just... was that McCormick? Didn't see that. Anyone see who kicked that? We'll give it to
No, that was number 51, and that was Greg Rowe. Gregory
Okay.
Rowe.
So first score to West Adelaide at the 15-minute mark.
That was Stormboy.
Yep. Rob.
Mules, the captain. Great game last week for the Bays. Best player on the ground according to the Advertiser newspaper. Football comes to McGregor. Long kick down the ground, only as far as Moran though. And Moran takes the defensive mark for the Bloods.
Should have played on.
Moran assesses his options. He goes to Cupido. Long way from home, Cupido, at the moment, from his defensive position. Can the Bloods hold the Tigers in this first quarter into the breeze?
Gee, there's not much movement at all. This is unbelievable.
Back to McCormick. He doesn't play on, so maybe Collins has instructed him to keep hold of the footy and just play time out a little bit, because we're 16 minutes in thanks to Copy World.
Gee, you picked up a good point there, Rob. I think they are. They're just trying to hold it up.
McCormick's short kick, intercepted by Bode, who was taken without the footy before he had it. It comes out to Rudolph, who's finding himself on the half-forward line. His long kick, looking in the direction of Dolding, but Martin's there and gets his fist to the footy and goes across the line.
Yeah, I like the look of Martin. He's done a couple of good things so far.
Yeah, as Rob said earlier, that's obviously the instruction from Andy Collins at the moment. West Adelaide hold this game up while Glenelg have got the breeze, and, well, it's working at the moment. Glenelg have only kicked one goal.
Ball thrown in that forward pocket for Glenelg. No clear disposal. Lenny Clark doing a sterling job for West Adelaide. Gets it over to Kerr. Kerr has a bounce. Looks further afield. Nothing to go to. Kicks short and low. Finds, is that Rowe again? Playing a very good first quarter. Handball across, that's Ferguson. Ferguson back to Rowe. Gathers it in nicely. Gets a little kick forward looking for Filkey. That'll be free further afield to Filkey, or it'll go back to young Rowe at centre wing. Getting a lot of the footy early on. Yep. So kicking into that breeze, looking for Nathan Brown, makes the lead. Nathan Brown again. We think under coach's instructions, just holding onto that ball as long as they can. A lot of stringer handballs coming through. Rowe again on the receiving end from Brown. Ball comes to the ground. Handball across Glenelg. Cranston getting a long handball out of defence. Panozzo been in a few things, but West Adelaide pick up on that centre wing nicely. That's Piazzenti over to Rowe again.
Gee.
Kick is smothered nicely by Panozzo. In for West Adelaide goes young Stephen Morris. Umpire's letting this go on a bit now. And finally says he'll come in and bounce it.
So West Adelaide, they are the 9th ranked attacking side, and you can see why today at the moment. They only score 65 points a game, and obviously their game plan at the moment shows all of that, because just no direct movement into that forward line.
Here's Backwell, beautifully tackled on that occasion by Filkey. Geez, he's a hard-at-it footballer for a young player. Wearing the famous number 30 Guernsey here at West Adelaide, worn by Grantley in the 80s, that McGarry medal.
Young Hamish Hartlett coming on for West Adelaide, the 17-year-olds. Played a couple of games during the week over in Melbourne with the under-18 carnival.
Yeah, I actually watched a bit of that game against New South Wales. He had a game-high 24 possessions for South Australia, and 3 days later has to rock up and play league footy.
Morris's quick kick went forward and taken over there by Sugars for the Bays, and Daniel Willets, to me, the only player looking capable of kicking a handful of goals, and that's why I think Cupido needs to be put in the forward line if West are really going to kick a winning score today.
I'd love to see Cupido at full forward, 1 out, because I think he's a match winner. I've seen him do it before. I saw a game where he kicked 11 goals for South Adelaide against Port Adelaide 2 years ago, and he was just unbelievable at full forward. And I just think West Adelaide, if they want to kick a winning score, as you said, need him up forward.
Bounce down. West Adelaide forward line. Can they crack the egg open and kick a goal here? Piersanti's punch away. Here's Morris, goes through trouble. To Anderson, his kick was smothered. What a resilient defence the Bays have, and it's going to take something good to get more than 10 goals through today, Daniel.
Well, it's exactly right, and I guess I don't know about you guys, but I'm finding the Guernseys pretty hard to pick up from a distance.
It is a little bit. Yeah.
I've never been a big fan of alternative strips, but today I think the Tigers could have wore a more yellow Guernsey today.
The
because,
clash of the sash.
It certainly is the black, especially from the back.
It is cold, blustery. Although the sun is out now, but it is a bit hard to tell. Cranston with the hit out there. No clear possession. Again, we're going to see a lot of this today. Stacks on the mill, players over the ball, diving on the ball. I think the umpire really has to start paying freeze shortly about holding the ball when we see this sort of scrimmage developing all day and perhaps ruining the game a little bit as a spectacle. Sure, blustery conditions. Bounce down occurs. Oh, over the top was Mules, punches the ball clear. Tries to get a breakaway for the side, but West Adelaide tackling with McCormick on top of... Is it Adlington then for Glenelg?
Unbelievable at the moment, isn't it? Just cannot get it out of that area.
Cranston down.
Finally they do. Here we go.
Yeah.
Moran.
Now look at this. Look at the players streaming forward now. Okay, so the free kick will be taken by Brad Moran. That's a long kick into the teeth of the Breeze. It's a one-on-one with Willits. Can't take the mark. There's Cupido, the man we're talking about. It's kicked backwards. No, it stays in. It stays in. And this is young Hamish Hartlett's taken the mark right on the line. Kicks it quickly into attack. That's the way to go. Over the back, this is Rowe, who's probably West Adelaide's best player. He's turned it, he's missed.
Can you believe it?
Goodness me, he's kicked the entire score for West Adelaide this quarter in 2 points, and that's perhaps one he should have got, Daniel.
Gee, that was an absolute gimme from a crumbing forward, and Rowe on his right foot as well. Should have kicked it.
Fisher received the kick in, goes to Bode. Bode's little kick out towards Rudolph, who's been at both ends of the ground today. Rudolph kicks towards the half-forward line. Backwell going back. Couldn't take the mark. Beautifully spoiled away there.
Well done, Hartlett.
Well done, Hartlett, correct. Here's Slattery. Slattery's handball to Cupido. Back in the direction of Slattery, who runs on the 1-2. Kicks to the lead of McCormick. McCormick feeds off to Anderson. Moving the footy quickly, the Bloods. Handball from Anderson went to Brown. Brown to McCormick. McCormick's kick is wide. He's got Bailey. And Bailey's 60 metres from goal. Can they build something, the Bloods? They've been competitive. Short little kick back to Brown. Brown now, just outside 50. He's got Moran and Willits. Back kicks to McCormick. Oh, he's pushed in the back and will line up. And for West Adelaide supporters' sake, can put them in front.
This is a big kick in the context of this game. They've had a lot of the ball. The Bloods still yet to kick a goal, believe it or not. They've had a lot of play, and they really need this one to create a bit of scoreboard pressure.
Yeah, 22-minute mark, and McCormick will kick from 40 metres into the Breeze. Distance shouldn't really be a factor if he kicks it, if he times it well. Accuracy will be the issue. A nice kick off the boot. He's dragged that way left, and that'll be just a point. So 3 points to West Adelaide. 22.5-minute mark of the first quarter, trailing Glenelg 1-1, a 4-point margin.
Ball's brought in. Here's Backwell. Backwell hands off to Sherwood. It wasn't Sherwood, I think it was Sugars on that occasion. Oh, pushed it out there by Grimer. Umpire deemed it was in Cupido's back. No, it wasn't Cupido. In fact, there it was Slattery.
Gee, they've got some kids playing on some big timber at Glenelg, haven't they?
Slattery, short, Piersanti, grand final player for the Bloods in 2003, kicks it long, in front, taking a great mark.
Yeah.
Oh, what a reliable defender Sherwood's been for many years for the Bays. Can he taste premiership glory in 2008? To Panozzo, takes a second bounce. He's got a lot of time, kicks towards the wing, a great kick in front of Hinge.
And yeah, good mark to Hinge on the wing there, but that mark to Sherwood, that's the rule. When you're kicking with the wind in defence, you stand in front of your man, and you'll get the mark nearly every time. So the ball comes across here to Panozzo, playing a very good first quarter himself. Over to Sugars. Kicks this one. That's a sweetener for the club. That long kick there down to Doldig. Doldig all on his own. Who's on him? Doldig will take a big kick forward. No, he's found someone in the centre there. And it's, Sam Rudolph at centre half forward. between centre half forward and full forward. He's had a roving commission in this first quarter, and this will be the rare occasion of Sam Rudolph having a shot for goal. He's kicked 6 goals in his career, so can he kick his 7th?
Can you believe it? He's causing a bit of havoc up there in that half forward line, almost cast as a half forward flanker today, and creating. This will hurt the Bloods, who've had a lot of play.
So it's Rudolph coming in from 30 metres. Oh, he's kicked it on the side of the foot there. He's just come off the edge, didn't allow for the wind, and that's a fairly costly miss. 24 and a half minutes, and Glenelg with this breeze have only kicked 1-2. We're saying West haven't got the scoreboard pressure on, but Glenelg have only kicked 1 goal too. Ball coming in quickly. Nathan Brown gets a handball across to Cupido. They're weighing up their options here. There's a kick to Filkey. That's a nicely weighted kick though. Off the boot, it looked a bit dangerous with Doldig bearing down on him, but Filkey all kicks across, doesn't. Oh, Moran can't complete the mark. That blustery wind is a factor today.
And you wouldn't think we're at the 25-minute mark here on the Copy World time clock. You wouldn't think there'd be too much time on at the moment in this first quarter with only 1 goal scored. So the Bloods will be hoping to hold out the Tigers now.
So the Bloods who have had their chances, only behind by 5 points, be happy with that. Allen, screw punt off the left.
Oh, this
goes at the back. Here's Grimer. Martin's chasing him. Grimer went for the sock off the ground, couldn't get it away. Away comes Slattery. Slattery, 1 bounce. Beautifully shepherded there by Martin. Doldig can't get to him. Well played, the Bloods. Slattery along the outer wing. Only as far as Panozzo, though. And that's been the story of the day for the Bloods. They just haven't been able to find their targets often enough.
25 metres now, guys.
Will it put him in range here?
That was just before the siren, a split second before the siren. This will hurt the Bloods badly if Panozzo can go back and sink this, but...
and I'd love to buy real estate off the umpire.
I tell you what, he's a...
That's a generous 25 metres.
It is too, but he's still a fair way out for a player who doesn't... He's not the longest kick in the side, but he has got the wind behind him.
What a crucial time to make even 1 metre of a mistake on the penalty by the umpire. And Panozzo has missed. So an interesting quarter on the Cockatoo Rewind scoreboard. It's Glenelg 1-3, West Adelaide no goals 3. Welcome back to Broad Spectrum Oval, where Glenelg lead West Adelaide 1-3-9 to 3 points. And what a quarter of football that was, and we'll know at half-time exactly how strong the breeze is. And Daniel, I really think the Bloods would be very happy with their first quarter.
They certainly would be, and this now is the crucial quarter where the Bloods have got to put it on the scoreboard.
The bounce down, a beauty to start the quarter. Footy comes away. There was block taken by Rudolph, who has had a good first quarter. To block, he goes back out wide. Here's his teammate running off the half-back line in Panozzo. Panozzo, went over the head of Kirkby, and Cupido, much to the surprise of many West Adelaide supporters, has stayed in defence in this second quarter. Cupido, raking left foot kick is a very ordinary one, but still, it's going to find his teammate there in Brown. Brown's handball to Martin. The West Adelaide player there in Kurt Thompson. Oh, but it's come back to the Bays. Handball back towards Fisher, who's under pressure, but he's good enough to take it. His handball was an ordinary one, taken by Moran. Moran to Ferguson, mark of the year last week up at Doggyland, and his kick's interrupted by Panozzo.
Good mark by Panozzo, called out back well nicely then, made his presence felt and took a good mark. Probably the best player on the ground at the moment, Panozzo. Nice handball across, Sherwood coming out from defence, kicking the ball to Rory Kirkby. Kirkby on that left foot of his, shepherding out nicely by Backwell, used the small body of his well. Handball didn't go to the body though, but the ball comes out of bounds there. Filkey and for Glenelg block. So half forward line for Glenelg early in the second quarter. No change to the quarter time scores. 6 points in favour of Glenelg. Ball comes down here. Bailey gets the kick, or was it Ferguson? Gets the kick forward for West Adelaide. No clear possession there. Ball comes out of bounds in front of the players' race. And that's Ben Hollands for West Adelaide. I think he might have been on the bench for some of that first quarter.
It's an interesting side, the Bloods, aren't they? They've got a lot of experienced players like Hollands and Brown and all of that, and then they've got a lot of teenagers as well. There's not much of a middle ground. It's either very experienced or not experienced at all.
Hollands took the throw in and put it straight on the left boot, and mark taken forward there by Ben Fisher. Yep, Ben Fisher. Going to the pocket to the youngster in Hartlett, and Hartlett takes the mark. Now he's got a cross breeze here, and he'll have to take the left-hand goalpost if he to allow for this breeze. So we'll see what sort of a kick he is. As we said, he played in Victoria during the week in the under-18 carnival.
Gee, how good is he? He's only 17.
On age and number.
Comes in, kicks it beautifully, and that's a beautiful kick to Hartlett for West Adelaide's first goal. So on the Copy World time clock, 2.5 minutes in, it's scores level, and West Adelaide 1 goal 3 and Glenelg 1 goal 3.
I'll tell you what, I've seen Hartlett play a couple of times now. Saw him play a little bit on TV as well for South Australia under-18s against New South Wales, and he is a ball magnet. He's got a bit of class as well. He can finish off as we just saw, and he is certain to be selected in the draft, you'd have to say.
The start the neutral observer wanted to the second quarter. Scores level. Cranston knocks it down to Allen. Smothered his kick there. Here's blocked, but it's McCormack who butters up for the Bloods. And Allen's in there tackling Anderson. And we have a very, very mouth-watering game of football in front of us here today, Daniel Frangos.
Well, I guess the big thing here is that Glenelg are a hard-working side. They're not a side of stars. They're just a hard-working side. And if you're 5% off, which they probably are at the moment, that... yeah, West Adelaide capitalising on that.
Rowe kicks forward. Here's Fisher on Adlington, but it goes to Willets. He wheels around on the right boot, goes around the body, and kicks one behind. So West Adelaide hit the front. 1-4-10 leading Glenelg, 1-3-9 on the Cockatoo Ridge Wine scoreboard.
Well, they've hit the front, as you said there, so the Bloods up by a point, and this is a chance. They've got to make the most of this wind.
And the key at the moment is Lenny Clark giving him first use of the ball. He's really taken Cranston on today and played a very good game. Ball comes out here to Fisher on the centre, just behind centre wing for Glenelg. Looking to mount an attack here, Glenelg, with a bit of method at the moment. Fisher kicks the ball nicely to a leading Hinge. Oh, yeah, good play. Good kick and good mark under pressure. Hinge, same dilemma here, not a lot going for him, so he turns back over to Sugars. Sugars takes a bounce, has a look. Nothing forthcoming down that side. Comes back to this side to Sherwood. Sherwood's got Mules over here on the wing if he wants it. And he does. Mules now plays on, runs forward after taking the mark, kicks the ball there. Oh, that's no mark to Cranston. Didn't bend over. Lenny Clark saw the relief of the boundary line and went for it. Cranston tried to get the ball out. Oh, in the back there to the West Adelaide players calling for a free kick to Bailey there. Nothing forthcoming, says the umpire. Too near the boundary line anyway. Throw it in.
Gee, that was, yeah, he looks a tired ruckman, and he's been carrying Glenelg all season, and Clark certainly getting on top at the moment.
Clark again down. This is McCormack over the ball. Nice pressure from Bode. Bailey there for West Adelaide. Umpire says, that's line ball, I'll come in and bounce it. And he's bouncing the ball well today. I think it might be Michael Avon.
Just an interesting move. Moran's now gone into defence, and he's standing Grimer.
Right.
He comes away. Block, left foot kick. Here's Kirkby. In front there for the Bloods was Brown. Beautifully done by the young fella there for the Bloods in Hartlett. It's ending up with Cupido. Cupido in a bit of trouble. He's got to bounce it. Oh, he must have run too far.
He's gone for a run.
That's one of the funniest things I've ever seen, I reckon, on a football field, because I actually thought he was going to kick a goal then. That was, he looked like a forward, the way he was running towards the goals there. And
I like the way he was looking over the shoulder on both sides, and he saw play.
Cupido, a bomb in towards the centre square. Moran, there was Rowe. Can the Bloods get it away? Storming through there for them. It's Bailey. They've got it forward. Screw punt, only as far as Sugars. He gathers. Oh, good pressure on that occasion by Fisher, who tackles him to the ground. Play on, said the umpire. Comes out to Panozzo. Panozzo, Sherwood. Bit of time, gathers. Oh, comes in towards the centre of the ground, touches it down, and kicks out towards Mules.
Mules takes the mark again on that half-back flank, this time on the outer, kicks it forward. Mark taken there by Adlington for Glenelg. Adlington right on centre wing. Kicks the ball forward as Moran nudged out of the ball, but Grimer comes out with it. Geez, a determined player. Gets it over to Backwell. Backwell's dispensed with the long sleeves. Kicks the ball long into attack. Can't take the mark there for West Adelaide was Martin. Ball comes down. Handball across back to Cupido. Cupido doesn't give away a point this time. Kicks long. Looking for Moran. Moran reaches on the fingertips and pulls a mark in on the half-back line. Now, takes his time looking for leads further afield. Perhaps taking a bit long. Kicks the ball short. And that's too far for Kerr. Over the back was Backwell. Handball across from West Adelaide. Running into attack here. Greg Rowe can't take possession. Sam Rudolph gets a handball out. Umpire says play on. Glenelg moving the ball forward. This is McConnell, been very quiet so far today. Long kick forward into attack, looking for Grimer, looking for Kirkby. Cupido fists the ball clear. For West Adelaide, it's Martin leading in the race for the ball. Taps the ball to the boundary line. Rudolph picks up nicely and slung to the ground. Good play, West Adelaide, by the defence, Ferguson and Martin. And the ball's out of bounds, Glenelg's half-forward line.
Now Seller's not playing today. Obviously, he's been dropped for Gilhouse. But what Seller does do is he makes someone have to stand him. And today, West Adelaide don't have to stand a big guy like Seller up there. And yep, well, that's what's happening at the moment. They're getting. Here they go. Take it away, Rob.
Hartlett in towards the middle of the ground. McCormick takes it. Plays on quickly. They're moving it quickly. The Bloods. Brown was knocked away by Bradwell.
Well done.
Great stuff, the Bays. Typical of their footy. Adlington out wide. Here's Panozzo. Up they went. Down to the hinge. He's pursued by Bailey. Good contest. Bailey. Hinge. Hinge wins out. Does he cock one high? He does.
Brilliantly done.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Persistence.
Fisher's short kick in towards Doldig, who takes the mark low down. He's going to be kicking into the teeth of the breeze. Decides to go short. Here's Kirkby. Beautifully done by Cupido and Andy Collins. If you're watching this tape, I think you made the right call.
Daniel, good call earlier about Seller, the other tall option up forward, but it's not a game today where the ball's in the air. The ball's on the ground today, and I think it's not a bad selection by Mark Micken today, really.
I would have played him. I know what you're saying, though. He is out of form, but...
Yep. So, Cupido again, I thought he was going to kick another point. Brad Moran picks the ball up nicely, is tackled well. Umpire called play on. Grimer gets a nice handball out to Sam Rudolph. Is the kick touched off the boot?
He's got it.
He's kicked a goal, Sam Rudolph. That's a very handy goal into the breeze.
Gee, that was, as you said, a goal against the flow of play, against the breeze, when West Adelaide have had a fair bit of play in this match to only kick one goal. And an interesting stat, guys, is that West Adelaide averaged 295 possessions a game. Glenelg only averaged 2 more per game. Glenelg only averaged 297. So that just shows that Glenelg play a lot more of a direct brand of football. They get it in long, get it in quickly. And West Adelaide, as we've seen today, pretty indirect, but you cannot question the Bloods' endeavour at the moment.
Bounce down. What an entertaining game. Clark gets it down to Kerr. And Daniel, I'm not too worried about how many goals are kicked. I want to see one-on-one football, players contesting, and this has been exciting stuff.
It has been exciting, yeah, believe it or not, for a game 2 goals to 1. It is a very entertaining contest.
Bounce down again. Cranston, rucks all day. Kicks towards the forward line over the head of Hartlett. It's mopped up there by the Bays. Here's McConnell. Feeds back to Sherwood. Sherwood kicks into Rudolph. He's been everywhere, close to their best player. Back to McConnell. McConnell's short little kick out in front of Panozzo, who'll take it and go.
Yeah.
Has one bounce. Looking in towards the lead of Doldig. It's out in front of him and he takes the mark.
Beautiful football.
Doldig, similar position to what he was a couple of minutes ago. We're 10 minutes in on the Copy World time clock. Doldig, right on the 50, kicks it out in front of Seller. Leading in the race here is Holmes. Holmes on the left boot, disciplined centering kick. Under it there for Westies with Moran. Holmes, coming away is Kerr.
Kerr handballs across to Moran. Moran goes backwards here, looking for Bailey. Bailey, nothing to kick to at the moment, so goes long and very high. Ben Hollands will have to compete against taller opponents, takes a nice chest mark. Plays on immediately. Cranston on his tail. Kicking for Willits. Willits can't complete the mark. One-on-one here, possession with Sherwood. Sherwood jumps on the ball. Willits has got him. Crowd calling, holding the ball. Willits scoops the ball clear, but there's 2 Glenelg players there in clearing, and out comes centre wing here. Backwell will clean up for Glenelg. Backwell dispensed with the long sleeve Guernsey at quarter time. On that right foot. Kicks it up to the centre wing. Nearly goes out on the full, just out of bounds now here. On the Copywood scoreboard, it's 11 minutes into the second quarter. Glenelg 2-4, leading West 1-4, and we've got a good game.
Gee, wouldn't the Bloods like to still have Backwell on their side? Of course, Backwell, a former West Adelaide player, and yeah.
I've never seen him play a bad game.
No.
Piazzanti handballs across to the running Brown. Brown kicks long into attack, looking for Willits, but Willits is out of position. Sam Rudolph takes the mark and plays on. Rob Green.
Rudolph, what a game he's playing. Out to Panozzo, probably the best two players for the Tigers. Panozzo has another bounce. He's on the outer wing, and his kicks only as far as Martin. So Doldig on that occasion, he'd had two lace out previously, but didn't get that one. Kerr couldn't take the mark. Panozzo pushed aside. Kerr. And we're going to have a ball up, Daniel.
Well, yeah, no, it's a very even contest, and Glenelg last week just played in probably 15 minutes of good footy in the third quarter where they broke away, and yeah, they're probably relying on just a good little patch every game. Glenelg, they're not playing absolutely brilliantly, and certainly just well, they're going for their 12th win, but they're not, as you said earlier, they're not actually killing sides off.
A lot of players around the ball, and we'll have yet another ball up. And Daniel, been a pretty even contest between Clark and Cranston today.
I actually think Clark's had the better of him. He's one of the premier ruckmen in the SANFL. Of course, he was injured over the pre-season. He's just come back into his best form. And I guess Cranston would be pretty tired, having carried the Glenelg ruck for pretty much the whole year.
Well, for the sake of free play, the umpires pluck one out. And the defensive mark taken beautifully there by Martin. Geez, he's coming along. Martin's kick. Finding... Oh. And Rowe there. Rowe chips in board. Moran couldn't take it. Hinge grabs him. Here's Grimer. If he gathers, he's got teammates. He's got Block. He's got Kirkby. To Kane. West Adelaide maintaining pressure. Cupido! Spoiled the mark. Diving in Moran. This is exciting stuff here at Broad Spectrum, and we'll have a ball up.
And you can see Andy Collins' frustration here with just the skill errors. That last possession for West Adelaide, a skill error which is really costly. Daniel Frangos.
Well, that's an AFL player as well, Moran, and yeah, certainly should have marked that one. And he's got to lift really if the Bloods are to get over the line here. So
a bounce down, another good bounce by the umpire there. Fisted away by Lenny Clark. He's playing a sterling game in ruck. This is Doldig. New levels of fitness this year for Doldig, for Glenelg, playing very good footy this season. Oh, and that's a nice kick forward, and that's a mark. Is that Grimer?
He is a superstar. He is an absolute star in this competition, Grimer.
Used his body beautifully in that situation with the younger opponent and took the mark. But a good kick in from Doldig on one step too.
And Grimer, of course, has a couple of brothers playing with the Kangaroos. So Grimer, his brother tonight, Blake, will be playing at Amy Stadium, and Grimer is certainly good enough to be at that level.
And this is his 11th game for Glenelg. And he's hit the post on that. And I notice he's got 28 goals in his 11 games so far. So not only is he a real live wire up forward, he's a goal scorer too.
Well, you give a bloke a rap, he lets it down every time there. But yeah, as you said, 28 goals. And if he doesn't kick a bag, Glenelg have still got the likes of McConnell. They've got Doldig. They've got Bode who can bob up. And
bloke in the seconds too.
Bloke in the seconds called Seller, and they've got Kirkby as well, so they don't rely on anyone forward, and that's the strength of that Glenelg forward line.
Cupido can bomb this to the halfway mark if he wants to. You'd almost say it'd be the smart thing to do.
Yep.
Looks like he's going to do it. Thump!
Didn't get onto it.
At the back is McConnell. Punches it forward for the Bays. Taken there by Kane. Gets the handball to Adlington. Play on, says the umpire. Adlington feeds off to Bode. His little right foot kick.
Oh, gee, that is poor umpiring. That is...
yeah, what's happened?
Glenelg got the free kick. They also had the advantage. The umpire was indecisive whether to let it play on, and they actually penalised the team that got the free kick.
Fisher looking for the lead there of Hinge, who out in front there takes a very good mark. And the distance is really going to test him here, Daniel.
I think he'll kick this, but it will kick the distance anyway, just. But John Hinge early in the week, he said Jason Porpleisha is one of his good mates, and he's actually been inspired by Porpleisha being delisted by the Crows and then coming back. Hinge wants to do the same.
Daniel, I was going to ask you, is this a case of Glenelg winning the toss, kicking with a breeze, relaxing, and then into the breeze, realising
Gee, look at that.
you've got to play.
Look at that.
Yeah, you've got to play with a lot more endeavour and a lot more purpose. Is this a case of that?
I'll tell you what, I reckon it is. I reckon they're certainly lifted.
Oh!
Kick by Kirkby. Out of nowhere, their registers are behind for the Bays, and they skip out to an 8-point lead. 2-6-18 to the Bloods, 1-4-10 on the Cockatoo Ridge Wine scoreboard.
Yep, and the ball coming in quickly for West Adelaide. Over to Nathan Brown, the man they always go to. Handball across to Kerr. Kerr has to dodge past a couple of opponents and weave past. Gets the handball out. Ferguson, who's playing not a bad game, over to Moran. Moran's been caught a couple of times today. Piazente with a handball across to Filkey. Filkey running through the midfield. Long kick forward. Willet's flying. Can't take the mark. Doesn't recover quickly. McConnell soccers the ball out to his teammate. Sugars handballs back to McConnell. McConnell mopping up in defence this quarter for Glenelg nicely. Kicks the ball out to Kane. Kane kicking forward. Doesn't quite hit the target there in Panozzo, and the ball will go out of bounds on centre wing in front of the Jumping Castle and the Marquee at Richmond Oval.
I reckon that's a great move by Mark Micken. McConnell's been down on form the last couple of weeks. Put him in defence, give him a bit of a run, and just get him playing football again.
Bode. His kick's out there looking for Rudolph. If it sits, he's got it, and it does. His left foot kick to Hinge. Beautifully spoiled on that occasion.
Oh!
And coming away for the Bloods. Beautifully done there by Thompson. Playing really tight on Hinge there. His kick finds Morris. Morris's handball is an ordinary one to Hollands. Puts him under the pump. Hollands gets around. He's on the left boot. Kicks towards goal and over the head there of Hartlett. And once again, the foot skill and disposal of West Adelaide, the only thing letting him down.
Stephen Morris then really had the ball at 50 metres by himself, the young 19-year-old, and couldn't dispose of it cleanly.
I also think Hollands had more time than he thought. He probably could have actually straightened up a bit more and kicked that, actually gone for goal then.
Hollands trying to make amends there, tackled to the ground, can't release the ball. Umpire will have to come in and bounce the ball up. 19 minutes in on that Copy World scoreboard sees Glenelg 2-6 leading West 1-4.
If you want a copy of the game, you call Charles on 8271-1669 thanks to Pine Lodge, and he'll give you a copy of this game and any game for the year that he's covered.
Okay, ball coming down now. Glenelg clearing from defence. There's a one-on-one. West Adelaide take the ball, but he ducks back. That's Piazente, ducked back into trouble, looking for handball across to Ferguson. Ferguson, again, the skill don't hit the body. Ferguson lining up from 40 metres out, but hasn't allowed for the win. It's gone on the side of the foot, and that's another point to West Adelaide, and that takes them to 1-5. They've only kicked one goal as we're approaching half-time.
Gee, they could have actually, imagine they'd kick straight here, the Bloods. They'd be up by about 4 or 5 goals.
Okay,
Footy
Rob Green.
comes out for the Bays, is Panozzo. Panozzo has a bounce, sort of trots along the half-back flank, kicks up the line. Here's Graham.
Oh, beauty!
Hands off to Block. Block's left foot kick in front of Hinge. He's got a yard. Hinge's handball to Fisher. He'll go to Rudolph. Rudolph's got time. Straightens up, but he's away to the right-hand side. But what a build-up. Grimer's mark was a beauty.
Absolute special, wasn't it, from Grimer?
Daniel, that handball had hit his teammate's body before he'd hit the ground.
I think
that was fantastic.
he's at another level. Yep. He really is. I've seen a lot of SANFL games, and he just stands out every time.
Recruit of the year.
No doubt.
Ball coming in for West Adelaide. McCormick takes the mark, plays on straight away. West Adelaide streaming out of defence through Martin. It is only as far as Brett Backwell. Coming into the game now, Brett Backwell. Long kick across the middle of the ground. Trying to direct the attack down the corridor. Not a bad thing to do into this breeze. Back to Sugars. Sugars. Now a carefully placed kick forward to Panozzo. I think Panozzo's just about the best player on the ground. Hasn't made a mistake so far today. Centres the ball back. This is McConnell. McConnell starting to come into the game too. Been quiet in the first quarter. McConnell's kick was...
What a kick.
Went 15.9 metres, and it's taken by Doldig, but he kicked it, he placed it perfectly. So Doldig will kick from just inside 50 into the teeth of the breeze. Daniel.
One thing about McConnell, he may not get, he never gets, 30 possessions, but what he does is always clever, always delivers, doesn't waste the ball.
So it's Doldig coming in. That's a big kick off the boot. He's put that out to the left, and it hasn't come back. And that's... Matthew Doldig's first score for the day, 1 point, taking to Glenelg to 2 goals, 8, leading West Adelaide 1-5 on the Cockatoo Ridge Wines scoreboard. Rob Green.
Cupido, this time in short. Over the top of Moran's head. Couldn't quite take it, was Adlington. Coming away is Brown, one bounce. Kick towards the forward line. Here's Hollands. It sits for him. Oh, good pressure by the base, but McConnell grabbed him when he didn't have it. Hollands now. Whoa, Fisher, that's 25 metres. You got to wait for the umpire to call play on, Mr. Fisher.
Still out of range for Hollands, I think.
They've really got to do something with this forward foray up into the 50-metre zone, because they've had it up there. I'd like to know the inside 50s at the moment for one goal. They really need another one.
Hollands looks to like his chances. Kicks from the square. Smothered by Mules. Back to Hollands. His handball. Oh, Sells Ferguson into trouble. He's tackled by Free Bays.
Prior opportunity.
Now if Cupido was having that shot for goal, if Cupido probably would have made the distance and sunk it straight through the middle, and I think they need him up forward in this quarter when they've got the wind.
Clever standing in the mark by Mules. Then he snuck back and then ran in, and Hollands was not ready for that. Okay, ball coming through. Fisher, long handball across. This is Panozzo again. Oh, shows the footy and just straightens up, comes out of defence, bounces once, runs his full 15 metres. Nice kick. Hinge can't take the mark, but that's a streaming through is Thompson for West Adelaide. Kicks the ball long, and that's gone out of bounds. Half forward flank, just on the outside the attacking 50 for West Adelaide. 22, nearly 23 minutes on the Copy World scoreboard. 2-8. Glenelg. West Adelaide 1-5. Throw in comes in. Willits taps the ball out. Fisted forward. Gregoro takes possession of the ball, bounces through to him, lines it up, but again out to the right-hand side. We're seeing a lot of that today. West Adelaide now 1 goal 6, trailing Glenelg 2 goals 8.
3 goals 14 for the match, and it is pretty swirly, but probably not that swirly to be 3 goals 14.
Footy out towards Fisher, out in front of the Copy World, the Cockatoo Ridge 1 scoreboard. And on the Copy World time block, it's 23.5 in. Footy back there to McConnell.
Clever.
And as Daniel said, anything he does is clever. To Sugars. Sugars goes across the ground to Mules. And as we can just see, the young fella in Gilhouse has just made his way onto the ground. There's Panozzo. Panozzo, his chip kick out in front there of Fisher. Fisher, half-back right for the Tigers. Kicked to the lead of Hinge, who's been a very busy player in this second quarter. Hinge up the line, finds Grimer. Grimer's on the outer side, centre wing. No, in fact, it was Kirkby, I think it was out there.
Yep.
Looks similar. No excuse for a commentator.
No, it actually was Grimer, but he kicked it on his left side. Right. Can you believe that? That's how well he's playing. He kicked that on his left.
Adlington gives it to Sherwood. Sherwood's kick towards full forward, looking for Doldig. Oh, well done there by Martin. Doldig in front of it, taps it forward. Only as far as Piasante, I think it was. Ferguson. And wrapped up was Morris, and we'll have a bounce down.
Gee, it's a good contest. The Bloods, I'll tell you what, if they're playing any other side, you'd expect them to be in front. The endeavour they're showing today, and certainly not the worst bottom side you've ever seen.
Yeah, young Stephen Morris then finding it difficult in this company. Ball comes clear. That's McConnell kicking on the left foot, going forward. And there's the siren to go to half-time with Glenelg 2 goals 8, leading West Adelaide 1 goal 6, a margin of 8 points here at half-time. Goal scorers for Glenelg, 1 to Rudolph and 1 to Grimer. For West Adelaide, 1 to Hartlett. We'll be back in the second half. Welcome back to the second half at Richmond Oval in this round 15 clash between West Adelaide and Glenelg. Sees West Adelaide trailing by 8 points and Glenelg kicking with the aid of a strong breeze in this third quarter.
This is the premiership quarter, isn't it, guys? This is the one where you'd expect Glenelg to come out now and kick a couple of goals in a row. And like they did last week against North Adelaide, kick quick goals and let's see what unfolds here.
Okay, another good bounce. Lenny Clark up high. Neither he or Cranston got a decisive hit out there. Players around the ball. We saw a lot of this in the first half. The umpire will come in and bounce again. half-time there was talk that it was a scrappy game, but I think the intensity of it was pretty good as well. So from a crowd point of view, it's quite an entertaining game, even though only 3 goals have been scored. Again, players on top of the ball, tackling and smothering the ball, so the umpire will come in and bounce. But yeah, the tackling and intensity has been pretty good, even though it's been a top versus bottom clash. Glenelg, as Daniel Frangos has told us, would be looking to kick 4 or 5, 6 goals this quarter with the aid of that breeze. Cranston that time gets the tap down. Ball comes out this time, breaks free. Ben Hollands for West Adelaide, kicks it sideways. In fact, the wind will take that the other way, and nearly kicks it out on the full on the centre wing there. So
it's a big quarter, isn't it, John and Rob, here for West Adelaide as well. If they can kick the first goal, suddenly it's 2 goals each, and West will come home with the breeze. So it's a big quarter for the Bloods.
Ball comes down, away for the Bloods. There's Brown. Brown gets his handball to Hollands, drives it into the teeth of that breeze. There was McCormick. Mules was there for the Bays, getting it away to Holmes, back to McConnell, running off half-back. There's that class, around another one, has a bounce. He caught it!
How many times can a player faint?
Comes to Slattery.
Unbelievable.
McCormick, Holmes has got Brown, holding the ball twice in 20 seconds.
Gee. Not a bad move, though, to have McConnell in the back line, as we've spoken earlier, just to get him back into some good form. But I'm sure he'll be bobbing up forward a bit later on in the game.
Now the ball comes away, out towards Sugars. Sugars has got Fisher, doesn't lose that player, back to McConnell.
Will he sell the dummy this time?
McConnell, the northernmost player on the ground, as West Adelaide go back to protect this breeze. Out to Holmes. Holmes has another bounce. West have flooded back, so there's no real options to make. There's McConnell, taken by Sherwood. Back out to Holmes. Holmes on the left. Beautiful kick out in front of Kirkby, who takes it just above the deck.
And there was a prime example there of West Adelaide. Really had an opportunity to clean up on the break, but Ryan Anderson ran over the ball. Ball comes out to Allen. Tough player, Allen. Goes back again to McConnell. McConnell's had 6 possessions already in the first 3 minutes. Looking for Matthew Bode. Picks it up beautifully. Handball across. This is Hinge. Hinge sells the dummy a la McConnell. Cleaned up by West Adelaide's Rowe. That's Jeremy. Cross to Ferguson. Long handball from Ferguson over to Piazzente. Piazzente's got nothing in front of him. Goes backwards to Jeremy Rowe. Back again to West Adelaide. Nathan Brown. Handball across. Martin looking for Hollands. Kicked it across to Cupido instead. That's okay, though. That worked. Cupido, a bit of discourse here in the commentary box about where Cupido should play, but hasn't played a bad game in defence. Nice kick over there, and that finds young Kurt Thompson taking the mark behind centre half-back for West Adelaide. Thompson plays on, kicking long out to that half-back flank. Piazzente takes the mark. Kirkby on the mark for Glenelg. What's he doing? Yep, that's Kirkby. Piazzente kicking short. West Adelaide just maintaining possession here, just trying to make something from not much at the moment. This is Bailey, second leading kick winner in the competition this year. Bailey kicks it back to Jeremy Rowe. So knocking up possessions, West Adelaide at the moment. Jeremy Rowe.
Looks like they're trying to hold the play up again in this quarter and minimise the damage, and then come home in that last quarter with the win. So West Adelaide just holding the play up at the moment.
Filkey it is, long kick forward, and Glenelg have done well here because they've really covered off the corridor. So West Adelaide have to go the long way around. Ferguson over to Hollands. Hollands kick forward, looking there for West Adelaide in Fisher it is. Fisher couldn't complete the mark. Ball breaks free. Kicked forward by Greg Rowe. Who's he got there? Willits up forward. Willits from behind. You can't take marks into the wind from behind. He's dragged to the ground, the West Adelaide player, and that'll be a free kick. Either too high or didn't have the ball, so that'll be a free kick taken by
Anderson.
Anderson it is.
Big play here. Big play.
Kicks into the breeze. Top of the square. Willits flew. Down there was McCormick. McCormick's handball. Pack of players. Comes out to Holmes. He gets it away to Backwell. Backwell's got Rudolph. But he looks further and spoiled away by Cupido, who's had a good game today. Grimer was the man there in front of him. And no score yet in this quarter.
Once again, that Glenelg defence, it's the best defence in the competition against the worst attack. So, and it's showing out there today.
I'll tell you what, if you've just turned on this DVD, which you can buy from Charles on 8271 1669, you wouldn't be greatly surprised that Glenelg are almost double West score, but guess what? They're only 8 points in front.
And they've only kicked 2 goals.
Brown tackled Mewers, who didn't have it. Came away to Backwell. Backwell receives it from Block. Backwell's kicks towards centre half forward. It's out in front of Glenelg, but it bounces over his head. Anderson gathers. Anderson gets his handball to Bailey. Bailey under a bit of pressure. He's gone. Rudolph gets him holding the ball. Blocks kick. It's out in front of Bode. And this class finisher, Matthew Bode, surely will put the Tigers' 3rd goal on the board.
Bit hard on Stephen Bailey there. The handball across from Anderson was a shocker. He had to stretch for it, and he was off balance. Bit hard.
But this is a big kick for the Tigers just to get them going again. And Bode, the man who stood up with 4 goals last week, has not registered a goal today, but he's always looked dangerous.
Fair comment, John, but could have been more voice to let him know that he was under the pump.
Sure.
Here's Bode. Kicks on the way. It's absolutely through the middle, and the Tiger faithful go up, and they're 3-8-26, leading West 1-6-12 thanks to Cockatoo Ridge Wines.
Bode, just that small forward who gets under the guard. He's using all of his AFL experience and just that crumbing forward that Glenelg didn't have last season. And this season, with the addition of Grimer as well, as we look at the scoreboard there, the Copperworld time clock says 7 minutes, and on the Cockatoo Ridge Wine scoreboard, the Tigers now go out to a game-high 14-point lead.
And Matthew Bode kicks his 73rd goal for Glenelg. Bounce back in the centre. Greg Rowe for West Adelaide puts a tackle on. Lenny Clark down there as well. Fisher waiting for the ball to be dished out to him. The umpire says, no, I'll come in and bounce it again. We've seen plenty of them today.
I think Mark Micken will be pretty happy just to get away with this game unscathed and the 2 points. I'm sure at the end of the day, a win's a win. So Glenelg, that's what they'll be endeavouring to do, just to get the points and go through unscathed today.
Cranston and Clark nullify each other again. The umpire comes in and another bounce down.
And I guess a lot of players as well playing for their spots. With Seller in the reserves, a few good players. Josh Willoughby's in the reserves as well. So Glenelg have got a lot of depth.
Kane fists the ball forward for Glenelg. Over the ball was Allen. He's always over the ball. He's tackled nicely though. Doesn't get rid of the ball. The umpire's given him plenty of time. And he says, I'll come in and bounce again. He's a sucker for punishment, this umpire.
Well, the umpires today are Sam Hay, Michael Avon and Toby Medlin. A pretty experienced trio out there umpiring today.
Lenny Clark up high, gets the ball, taps the ball down to Hollins. Hollins taps the ball back to no one. Bode gets a nice handball out to the running Backwell. Backwell sells the dummy out. McConnell comes in board, kicks it straight to Doldig. What a beautiful piece of play by Backwell. And when Brett Backwell gets the ball, another teammate gets it further afield.
And as we've spoken about that Glenelg forward line, you know, he's not really looking for anyone in particular. It doesn't matter if Grimer stands up. Doldig, you've got Kirkby, and here goes Doldig with this kick.
Kicks it nicely from 40 metres. Just put his foot through that beautifully. Didn't try and kick it out of the ground, just eased it onto the boot and followed through nicely. That's a beautiful kick for goal with this admittedly tail breeze, but he allowed for it. It's gone straight through. Glenelg now 4-8, leading West Adelaide 1-6 on the Cockatoo Ridge Wine scoreboard. And boys, at three-quarter time, I'm looking forward to a glass of Shiraz to warm me up a bit here at Richmond. Well,
nice Cockatoo Ridge wine. Would go down well watching this DVD, and of course, as Rob said, you can ring Charles on 8271-1669.
The bounce down, the Bay is really starting to put their foot on the accelerator here. Cranston gets it down. Allen, tough player. Fisher taken there, and we'll have another ball up pretty much where the first one was. Probably about a metre or two towards the grandstand. In fact, it's going to go smack right in the centre. Clark was up. Here's Rowe. The Gills came through with the boot. Coming through his Bode. The floodgates could be opening. Here's Allen. One bounce. He goes to 45. His handball's to Hinge. He's going to straighten the body and kick a goal. Glenelg 5-8, 38, leading the Bloods 1-6-12, thanks to Cockatoo Ridge Wines.
Well, this is that premiership quarter, the quarter where Glenelg have the breeze, and John Hinge has been a handy pickup as well from the Adelaide Crows. Of course, he is a Glenelg boy, and he's another handy addition they've got this season with Grimer. And John, what do you think about Hinge playing up forward, McConnell down back.
Yeah, I like it. And I'll tell you what I do like is Matthew Bode around the ball.
Yep.
Don't you think he gets that ball out to the running players? You know, he's an in and under player. I've always felt he's underrated, Matthew Bode.
He does win the hard ball and dishes it out, as we just saw.
Back in the centre, Lenny Clark and Cranston again. No clear possession. Sam Rudolph comes through the pack and handballs out. Doesn't quite break free. Again, we see another bounce down.
So I guess the crowd seems to be pretty much 50-50 here. I'd say it's even more Glenelg supporters, guys.
Yeah, not a real big one today, though.
No.
It's coinciding with a Crows match on television, which is probably not a great scheduling arrangement.
No.
Nathan Brown gets the ball, goes a long way back, 20 metres with a handball to Hollands. Over to Kerr. Kerr takes the mark, was going to play on, decided not to, but it's called to by the umpire. Handballs across to Bailey, is it? Tackled to the ground, and the umpire says, I'll come in and bounce.
Yeah, it's a great point you made there, John. The scheduling, we've had a lot of big crowds this season, but they've never clashed with an AFL Crows or Power game, and I just think this game could have been put to Sunday with no AFL, with no Crows or Power on at all.
Yeah, good call, Daniel. There's Hinge taking the ball. Nice handball across to the man we talked about, Matthew Bode. He should go for goal here. He's got the wind at his back. He's put a long one into the square. This is Graham, and nearly takes a screamer after disposing of his opponent. And Cupido doesn't concede a point. Comes streaming out of defence and kicks to Nathan Brown. Plays on straight away over to Ferguson. Ferguson has a bounce. Then a handball across to McCormick. McCormick back to Nathan Brown. Nathan Brown under pressure. Got caught holding the ball a minute ago, but that was a nice kick to Filkey. Filkey on the wings. Got someone loose here. Kicks to him, but took too long, and he's now under pressure, but taking the mark there for West Adelaide is Fisher. Ben Fisher. Looking for a lead forward. This is Willits. Provided the lead, can't complete the mark, though, and that's Willits hasn't really had sticky fingers today. Ball coming to ground, and the umpire will bounce.
Gee, wouldn't Willits love to be back in this Glenelg lineup?
He mightn't make the team.
Yeah, unfortunately. Well, I've actually thought about that. I'd put him at centre back, and
Gee, Port wouldn't like you.
Nah, and have Sherwood full back, Rudolph back pocket, and probably Sugars off the bench. So I think he'd be playing in the top side.
I'm probably a bit unfair on Willits because he has to do it all alone for West Adelaide at the moment. Anyway, Allen, it is that tough man gets the handball out. Can't come. That's Fisher. Fisher it was. Ball comes clear for Glenelg. The screw punt, the torpedo. Oh, nice mark there by Bailey. I have to apologise to Bailey. I called McCormack Bailey before, and lovely tackle there by Hinge, and that's holding the ball, and it's a throw. So Hinge, the architect of many moves, kicking forward here, looking for Bode. Bode on the run. He'll scoop this one up and turn on that left foot, and he'll run virtually. No, he centred it, and Grimer. Say no more. Great play, Matthew Bode. Grimer plays on, runs into the open goal, and kicks his second goal for the game. The only multiple scorer for the game. Daniel Frangos.
Well, Bode and Grimer, they have a great rapport on and off the field. Bode and Mark Micken were the two men entrusted with flying over to Victoria to entice Grimer to come to the Tigers. Bode was part of that package to get him over.
So that's why he kicked to him then, was it?
I reckon it is. I've seen him,
that was the payback, was it?
In the huddles, they're always having a bit of a chat, and after the game, it's normally Bode and Grimer. They obviously get on pretty well, and of course, Bode didn't play for Glenelg at all last season, so both of those two players, handy additions.
So the Bays have kicked 4 goals to nothing in 13 minutes on the Copy World time clock. And this top side who have won 11 in a row, they're about to win 12, continue marching towards that minor premiership. What a side they are, so even and consistent across the board. They play as a team. Cranston gets it down, and we'll have another stoppage. And Daniel, who do you think is a side that can knock Glenelg off before the finals?
Well, I certainly think, believe it or not, I think Centrals at their best can beat them again, or can beat them because they have to play them at Elizabeth again. And I think Centrals, if they get their best side, and so can Sturt.
Backwell out of trouble to McConnell, another addition. He's grabbed beautifully by Filkey, who's been one of Westie's best tacklers. Back to Backwell, just keeps running. Here's McGregor, who is there with Brown. McGregor, West players everywhere. Footy comes away. Here's Bay.
Oh, that's got to be. Oh, I thought it was a throw. Play on. Moran streaming out of defence for West Adelaide. Kicks the ball to the wing. Looking for Filkey. Filkey's got to show courage here. Takes the mark. Kicks across the ground. Looking for... it's Greg Rowe. Greg Rowe it is. Turns on that... Does the check side. Into attack. looking for Jeremy Rowe. Ball spoiled nicely by the Bay defender, but out it comes to Hollands. Hollands, long handball across. This is Brad Moran. He's running into goal here. Handballs across. West Adelaide. Hamish Hartlett lines up, kicks out on the full. Relieving kick to be taken by Sugars for Glenelg. Guys, I'm just looking at some previous scores here. I know it's premature to be talking about this 15 minutes into the third quarter, but West Adelaide have kicked 1 goal 6 to Glenelg 6-8. I noticed West Adelaide's lowest ever score against Glenelg is 5 goals 8. That could be under threat today.
That's seriously under threat.
And
that is,
I might add that 5 goals 8 was a winning score.
Wow.
Footy comes away. Here's McGregor. And what year was that? Does it say there, John? Must have been almost 100 years ago.
1921. I don't remember the game, mate.
No, the footy comes away, and Big Grimer, he's going to mark his territory about 3 centimetres outside the 50, and he will kick with the breeze. Distance won't be a problem for goal number 3, Daniel.
Yep, he's just a star, Grimer, and, well, West Adelaide came here today with 1 goal in mind, but they've only kicked 1.
Grimer,
beautiful.
It's coming back. It's a beauty. Goal number 3 to Grimer. And this machine, the Bays, move along to 7-8-50, leading West 1-6-12. It's almost as though they've come along and said, all right, boys, here's our quarter, and we're going to bury him here.
Exactly right. They do play in patches. It's not as if Glenelg play brilliantly for 4 quarters. We saw last week they played a good patch in the third quarter. And on the Cockatoo Ridge Wine scoreboard, they go to 7-8-50. They lead the Bloods 1 goal 6-12. Remember, the Tigers kept Norwood to 1 goal earlier this year. Yeah. Could they do it to West Adelaide as well? And
Daniel, even more galling is that the Bay coach, Mark Micken, is one of the favourite sons here at West Adelaide. So the ball comes bounce down again in the centre, and a scrimmage develops, and the umpire comes in and will bounce again. Yeah, the Bay Glenelg kicked 5 straight goals. West Adelaide have not bothered the scoreboard 17 and a half minutes into this third quarter. Up they go for West Adelaide. It's Moran, uncontested, taps the ball down, but not decisively. So yet again we see a stalemate developed, and the umpire coming in, and their bouncing today's been fantastic, I might add. And given the rain we've had during the week, the oval's in perfect condition.
Oh, it's fantastic. Certainly is.
Gilhouse there for Glenelg. Tried to get the ball out. Bode around the ball for Glenelg. Gee, the players Hinge, Bode and Back will have been outstanding this quarter. Yeah,
just an interesting one. Glenelg's percentage is only 58 compared to Sturt's 62. So that would be another thing on Micken's mind for Glenelg to run away with this game.
Well, if they can keep West Adelaide down to 1 goal 6, then that'll certainly boost their percentage.
Certainly will. And
people think you have to kick 25 goals to boost it, but if you keep the opposition to a very low score, that boosts it as well.
I guess you'd expect Sturt to beat South tomorrow as well, so they're not out of the running for the minor premiership either.
High tackle, yep.
So that was Hinge down there, taken high. And he'll kick from just inside the 50. He'll line up for Glenelg's 8th goal and 6th in 19 minutes on the Copy World time clock.
Gee, 6 in 19 minutes, and that's it's amazing considering they took a whole half to kick just 2 goals, Glenelg, and they've really, as you've said, the floodgates have opened.
Hinge.
A beautiful kick normally, isn't he, Hinge?
Well, Hinge has unlocked the floodgate.
Here he goes, just inside the 50 and misses away to the right. So Glenelg 7-9-51, leading West Adelaide 1-6-12 thanks to Cockatoo Ridge Wines.
And the relieving kick in to come from Damien Cupido for West Adelaide, and really that endeavour and that fierceness at the ball we saw from West is not appearing at the moment in this third quarter. Glenelg have really steamrolled them from the centre breaks. It'll be interesting to see the contested possession centre breaks. They'd be all Glenelg's way. Long kick into the breeze by Cupido. Nice mark there by Moran. It is. Plays on straight away to the running Nathan Brown, his captain. Nathan Brown finds the body. McCormick handballs. Oh, I don't think the West player was ready for that. This is young Morris running into attack for West Adelaide. Long kick. Willits is all alone. Takes the mark. Go back and have a shot from 25 metres out, straight in front. This could be West Adelaide's 2nd goal.
A few boos there from the Tiger supporters who have some long memories, and with Willits, of course, part of that Glenelg side.
I haven't heard any boos from Backwell today. But,
no, they seem to forget, don't they? But But Willits now, this is a very important kick for his career as well. Still on the power rookie list.
So Ryan Willits, 1 point so far today. He puts that one straight through. That's his 40th goal for the club since coming over. Oh, well, 40th goal in SANFL anyway. So Ryan Willits takes West Adelaide to 2 goals 6, trailing Glenelg 7 goals 9.
Yeah,
Rob and Daniel, is the game over?
I think so.
I think it is. I think Glenelg have got the 2 points, but West Adelaide, they won't give up. They've got the breeze in the last quarter, so there's still a chance to kick a few more goals. And I guess the interesting stat, as you said there, is that 5 goals 8, whether West Adelaide can kick a higher score than that.
So we're back in the middle again. Moran is going to battle Gilhouse. Moran gets first hands to the footy, dives in, gets his handball away nicely. Oh, taken high. Not paid. Play on to the umpire, ways care.
Oh, well
out of
done.
trouble nicely. Oh, he's caught. The tackling of the Glenelg, good again. Moran has a bounce. He's got Anderson over the top.
Oh, great
They can
handball.
kick 2 goals in a minute. He's got plenty of time. 30 metres out. Misses to the left, and what a disappointing finish. He had all the time in the world, could have run another 10 metres, Daniel Franco.
And if he kicked it, was it game on? If he kicked it, was it game on?
Well, it would have lifted the crowd. It would have lifted the whole team, really. That would have been a team-lifting goal, but unfortunately he missed.
Ball away to Mules. Mules kicks down the line to Hinge. Good mark by that player. Here's McConnell.
Oh.
Has a bounce. You'll love this. McConnell, 45 metres out. Misses to the left.
I was ready for the dummy then too, boys. But there was no body running at him.
Gee, he's had a bit of a drought, McConnell.
7-11-53, leading West 2-1-19.
McCormick, Piazente it is, can't take the mark as the ball's kicked in quickly from Cupido. Comes out with the ball for West Adelaide. It's all Glenelg there though, and that's Allen, is it? No, it's Holmes. So I get those two mixed up. Rudolph going up for the ball here, doesn't take the mark. Hamish Hartlett for West Adelaide in front. Takes the relieving mark virtually at fullback for West Adelaide. Hartlett looking for leads. Not a lot forthcoming. Cupido in the pocket where he's tended to hover down that end of the ground today. Little kick forward, looking for his captain, Nathan Brown. Cupido tends to do that. Likes to keep in sweet with the captain, kick the ball to him a lot. Now Cupido will kick long right up to this centre wing. Moran at the back, not in the best position to mark. Ball comes down to Adlington. Handball across here. Where's Backwell? Oh, nice tackle there. Glenelg. This is more like West Adelaide of the first half. Block copped a very nice tackle there from West Adelaide. That's better play, and they're coming in and saying well done. And that's what they need, a bit more spirit.
Yeah, they certainly have. They've lifted in the last 5 minutes, the Bloods.
Moran up, gets the tap down. Handball across Nathan Brown, back to Hartlett. Oh, McConnell intercepts beautifully. And what a handball across to Block. Block gets it on the boot. He's kicked it from outside 50. Do you mind, off one step and tackled to the ground. What a goal. The goal of the day, that one.
Magnificent goal there by Lucas Block. As I said, the Cockatoo Ridge Wine scoreboard now. Glenelg go on their merry way. And they lead this game. Well, I think the scoreboard's a bit slow there. Is that that's just changed now? So that's 8-10-58 to West Adelaide 2-7-19. And as you said, Block, he's only played, he wasn't in the side at the start of the year. He's just come in and playing really good football in recent weeks.
The handball by McConnell, though.
Oh.
McConnell's been one of their best players today. Creative after a quiet one last week.
Slow start today. Really came into it the second quarter.
Definitely did.
Yep, creative is the key word. He's just setting up everything.
So Gilhouse up against Moran. Gilhouse looking to work his way into the Glenelg side as a permanent member for this premiership campaign. And some of the better players for West today, Daniel, thus far?
Well, I'd say Hartlett's been pretty handy. Cupido, Willits did well then kicking that goal, and yeah, I mean, Moran's been pretty good as well around the ball.
Encouraging signs from the big fellas.
Yeah, Lenny Clark as well.
And Moran, yep.
Holmes' left foot kick was a magnificent one out in front of Hinge. Hinge kicks towards the forward line. Ferguson tried to intercept, but Big Grimer out on a long lead takes the mark, and he's lining up for goal number 4.
He's got it all, including courage too. He had the body running at him too, and he just didn't deviate, did he?
Oh, he's got, as you said, courage. He's got skill. He can mark a ball. He can kick, and more importantly, he's only 21. So he's...
yeah, he looks much older, doesn't he, the way he plays the game.
He certainly can be redrafted.
He's got that win perk worked out perfectly, hasn't he?
Goal number 4.
It's like lawn bowls. He just draws that ball out and in it comes. You know, it's 4 goals to Grimer. He's best on ground today.
And of course, the brother of Nathan Grimer, the former Central District Premiership player of last season. As we see now on the Cockatoo Ridge Wine scoreboard, the Tigers lead 9-10-64 to the Bloods 2-7-19. And Grimer kicked 5 last week and 4 today.
And we thought 6 goals was very achievable by Glenelg this quarter, and they've exceeded those expectations. It's now 7 goals 2 to West Adelaide's 1 goal 1. So, yeah, it's now game over, and we're really... let's hope that Westies fight this one out and really show some spirit and endeavour. Brad Moran gets a good hit out, but sharked by Glenelg. This is Panozzo. Panozzo goes backwards. Mules back again. That's McGregor for Glenelg kicking foot. No, it's not. It's Holmes kicking forward. Oh, no mark there for West Adelaide. McCormick comes to ground. This is McGregor. McGregor, can he get a goal too? No, he's kicked it out in the right spot. And there's a mark to Grimer. And
he marked it, but he
it's over the line.
Over the line.
So we'll give that one to McGregor.
Gee, McGregor's got pace, hasn't he? He doesn't look like a league footballer. He looks more like a jockey, but certainly got a lot of pace.
Cupido to bring it back in for the Bloods. What can they do? Can they stem this tide? Cupido's kick sort of floats up like a pitching wedge into the breeze. Moran will receive a free kick there. It's going to be against Gilhouse, I think it was. No, it's
off the ball, I think, for Piacenti.
Off the ball to Piacenti. Piacenti's kick out wide towards the outer side wing out there. Taken away now by Filkey, and the siren sounds. And it is Glenelg having a massive third quarter, 7 goals to 1, 9-11-65, leading West 2-7-19, thanks to Cockatoo Ridge Wines.
Grimer has 4 goals, 1 each to Block, Bode, Rudolph, Hinge and Doldig for the Bloods. Willits and Hartlett will be back for the final quarter in just a moment.
Welcome back to Richmond Oval for the last quarter, and as Daniel Frangos called it so well in the third quarter, being the premiership quarter, Glenelg kicking 7 goals 3 and really opening this game wide up, 46-point lead. So West Adelaide now kicking with the breeze in the last quarter will really need to do something to peg this back. At Lenny Clark versus Cranston. Ball comes out to Glenelg, tackled. Again, no clear possession this time. This time Cranston down on hands and knees, did it really well out to Sam Rudolph. Rudolph kicks forward. Oh, push in the back there against West Adelaide, and that'll be a free kick to Rory Kirkby, who's had a fairly quiet day by his standards today. Kirkby with the kick, the familiar left foot, going forward, looking for Fisher. No, it's Kane. Kane kicking forward. This time it's Kane. That was Fisher kicking to Kane. So Kane.
Grimer's on his own. No,
yeah, he's gone
not
back.
Not going to him. No.
McConnell outside 50, looking for, and Doldig not finding him. West Adelaide mopping up here. Ball coming out back to McConnell, the dangerous one. Oh, spears the ball through right to the square. Grimer!
Oh, what a mark. What a mark.
And vision by McConnell too. He weighted the kick beautifully. Grimer just bodied his opponent out and took a really good mark. And will be on an acute angle. No doubt he'll run around. He'll be going for his 5th goal. So this will be the icing on the cake for Grimer today. Point blank range. Runs around, puts it straight through. 5 goals to Grimer, taking Glenelg to 10 goals 11. Leading West 2-7 on that Cockatoo Ridge Wines scoreboard. Just a minute and a half on the Copy World time clock.
Once again, he's backed up last week's 5 goals with another 5 today. And I believe that's his SANFL League record, 5 goals. So let's hope he can add to that and kick a real bag today, because his form certainly warrants a place on an AFL list, and let's hope he can keep doing this for the whole season.
A margin here of 52 points in favour of the Bays. Ball comes out, Bailey, quick kick away, here's McCormick, he'll bomb it forward for Westies. Long kick, Willits is there in front. No crummers though for the Bloods. Panozzo continues his good form Goes out towards Sugars. Sugars out to McConnell. Gee whiz, BOG in this second half. Handballs onto the run of Sherwood. Sherwood, no one to go to. McConnell again. He's got nothing really to kick to. Comes inboard. It's going to bounce in front of Allen. Oh, he's under pressure. Beautifully done by Morris. Morris's kick was to Rowe. Handball was to Rowe, and Rowe finds Filkey on the lead, who'll kick 45-degree angle from 50 metres.
He'll have to aim for that left-hand goal post. Not a long kick, bit like his cousin. Not a long kick, but a reasonably accurate kick. So Filkey reckons he's got a chance here. Quite deliberate, running in. Aims it out left. That's what you got to do. The ball coming back, but not far enough, and McConnell takes the mark, but the ball's gone through for a point. So that takes West Adelaide to 2 goals 8, trailing Glenelg 10-11, a 51-point margin.
Gee, and McConnell certainly has been important in defence.
Down to Mules. Mules handballs across. Coming down the wing here for Glenelg. Nice kick into attack. Looking for Kirkby, it is. Kirkby can't take it. Moran's got the ball. Left-hand handball, not a bad one either. Oh, West Adelaide player converged on. Managed to get the ball away. McCormick handballs across. Long handball. Needs to come in here. This is Greg Rowe. Long handball again, looking for Nathan Brown. No, it's Jeremy Rowe. Jeremy Rowe over to Bailey. Bailey, Nathan Brown running past. Bailey, long kick into attack. Can Willits mark this one? No, it's too far for him. Over the back, cleaned up by Glenelg. Sugars it is. Sugars kicks long into that pocket. What a kick to Holmes. Holmes takes the relieving mark, and that was a 50-metre kick into the wind, lace out. Backwell takes the mark there from Holmes. Rob Green.
Backwell, half-back for the Tigers, kicks in the lead of Hinge there. Recovery was good, but he was outnumbered. Fisher was there. Away comes Rowe, the little fella. Round Hinge, well done. Kicks towards the forward line, but only as far as McConnell, who's been everywhere in this second half. Across to his fellow long-sleeve Guernseyan in Panozzo. Panozzo, centre of the ground. Kicks towards centre forward. It's a high kick. Under it's Kirkby. Oh, he took a good mark. Played on quickly to Allen. Here's Sherwood. He's coming down to kick a goal, will he? No! Out of the right-hand side.
He's kicked 21 goals in his career, Paul Sherwood.
And I'll tell you what, gee, they're running forward in numbers, the Tigers, in this second half. Something they didn't do in the first half, and they've lifted all over the ground.
You could almost see his eyes light up as he was streaming into goal there. 180 games and 21 goals for Glenelg. Ball kicked in. Looking for Rowe. Traps the ball nicely. Coming down here. On the wing. No, it's Daniel Kerr. Daniel Kerr handballs across. Willits. Willits does the turn, and a big turn at that. Too far was the handball for Cupido. Tackled beautifully by Glenelg. Cupido gets the ball out. It's called a throw. If it wasn't a throw, it was holding the ball in my view anyway, and the free kick will be taken by a limping Ty Allen. No, it'll be Sam Rudolph.
Gee, that was a big play there in the centre of the ground. Important ball to be won.
McConnell with yet another possession. Dodges, weaves, turns. Little kick forward, but that's intercepted nicely there by Stephen Morris for West Adelaide. Only a youngster, played a useful game today, 19 years of age. Only his 5th game today. Morris looking for something further afield. Nice kick forward. This is Willits one-on-one. Boy, he's been worn like a glove today. And ball didn't go out of bounds. McCormick kept it in, Daniel Kerr, but Fisher as well. Ball coming clear. This is Anderson it was, handball across. Willits kicks inboard to his captain, Nathan Brown. Can't control the ball. Dodges, weaves, shrugs off the tackle, taps the ball on the ground, then kicks the ball forward, and that's a mark to Greg Rowe. Greg Rowe to Pierzenti. Pierzenti falls over at the wrong time. Greg Rowe, and it'll be a free kick for over the shoulder, I think, to David Pierzenti, inside 50, attacking forward for West Adelaide.
Gee, it's amazing. West Adelaide, for all the play they've had today, they've only still kicked 2 goals, and just that they don't really have a clear match winner up forward, do they? They've got Willits there as in that attacking post, but they don't really have a class crummer, and they don't have a guy who can lead out, and I guess they don't have a grimer either, do they? So they'd certainly like to have Seller in on their list, because he'd be playing in the West League side today.
Is he available?
Hope not.
Pierzenti's kick. It's coming back, but not quite far enough. So West Adelaide moved to 2-9-21, trailing the Bays 10-12-72. And Daniel, how have you seen the West forward line today? Just for mine, Willits has been their only real option there, and I feel as though Glenelg know that, and they've got the extra player there every time.
And when the ball comes to the ground, the likes of Sugars, Mules, McConnell, Panozzo just running it out with ease and not creating any pressure on the Glenelg defenders. And I'd certainly like to see Cupido be given just a run, even just a run. They can't win the game, but give him a go for the last 10 minutes and see how he goes.
Ball ends up with Mules. Here's Panozzo. He's got to give it away quickly back to McConnell. McConnell would have had 10 possessions back there in this last quarter already. Fisher, back to McConnell. In fact, it was Panozzo. Panozzo, back to Fisher. Fisher's kick, long one towards the middle. Backwell's got to go. Well done by Bailey. Morris pursues Backwell, but Backwell kept himself over the footy and caught one high, not paid. And racing into Filky Morris's back, there was a Glenelg player. Away comes Block. Block's got Kane. He's got metres in the clear. Kane has one bounce.
Hinge.
Where's
Runs
Grimer?
just near the 50. Kick is a beauty to Doldig. And Glenelg will line up for goal number 11, and that was great use of the footy, Daniel.
Fantastic use of the footy, and the good news for Glenelg is that they've got now 4 goal kickers, believe it or not, have all kicked more than 21 goals this season now. They've got McConnell with 37, Grimer 32, Bode 22, Doldig 21.
So Doldig kicking for goal from 25 metres out. Slide angle puts it straight through. And that is his second goal for the day, Matthew Doldig. Very useful up forward. Takes Glenelg to 11 goals, 12 to West Adelaide's 2 goals, 9. It was interesting as Glenelg was streaming forward there. Rob Green calling. Both Daniel and myself, we saw the options that were available. There was Doldig, there was Hinge, there was Grimer. They were all leading. And there were 3 options going into attack. And that's the beauty of this side. And
yeah, as you said, they needed pretty good defenders to take care of all of them, and you can keep a couple of them down, but you can't keep them all down.
Ball back in the centre. Copy World time clock tells us it's 9 minutes and 16 seconds in the last quarter. It's a 57-point margin to Glenelg. Cranston with the tap down. No clear break, but it's a free kick for over the shoulder, around the neck, taken by Lenny Clark. Lenny Clark plays on straight away. High kick forward. Mark taken by West Adelaide. Need to get the ball moving.
Gee, there's just not enough options up forward, is there?
No,
just
that's right.
No one to kick to, so
Taken
he's just
too
got
long.
to go long.
Yeah, taken too long. Kick the ball high. No mark. Glenelg again will mop this one up. Over the ball. West Adelaide's Morris with the ball, trying to break free. Crowd of players around that. Over the top comes Greg Rowe. Umpire says, I'll come in and bounce. I've really liked the game in defence, particularly around Willits, as we said. Whether it's been 1-on-1 or 2-on-1, they've really combined to spoil Willits well today.
Bounce down. West Adelaide forward 50, and we'll have another ball up. And Daniel, you got something to tell us?
Well, just that lowest score, West Adelaide's lowest score against Glenelg, as we've said earlier, is 5 goals 8. They're on 2 goals 9 now at the moment, and I don't think they can beat it.
No, I'll have some money on that one too, Daniel. 3 straight kicks needed
They've got to kick 3.
They've got to double their score almost.
And, well, on the Copy World time clock, we've gone 11 minutes.
Another ball up. Massive amount of players around the footy at the moment.
And knowing how mean the defence is for Glenelg, I think they might not be aware of the record, but aware of keeping the score right down for West Adelaide.
Holmes, little handball along the line, and another throw in, and the game just sort of petering out, as you would expect with the margin at 9 goals in this last quarter, Daniel.
I wonder what West Adelaide's lowest score ever is, and also their lowest score ever at Richmond Oval is. Because
don't rub it in too much, Daniel.
Just be interesting to know that, because it may be under threat as well.
Yeah, I think you could be right.
McConnell's kick out in front of Hinge. What a user of the footy he is. They just keep running the bays. Back ball. Look at the support here to Panozzo. He's got Fisher. They just keep going. Oh, Fisher's taken by Cupido. And John Callaghan, you'll run us through the next ball up.
Okay, probably Fisher A little lucky to escape there, but he had no prior opportunity. A rare mistake from Backwell. Oh, Lenny Clark behind the play with Backwell. And it's on for young and old.
Lenny Clark had a bit of a go there. If you want to rewind the DVD and have a look at that one.
So Glenelg will take the free kick and a 25-metre penalty. It's still on behind play.
And of course you can call Charles on 8271 1669 to get a copy of this game.
So Cranston, Kane, Clark involved with that. Meanwhile, the ball's kicked forward and it's a mark to Glenelg, 30 metres out on a 45-degree angle to Adam Fisher, the vice-captain of the club.
And Fisher, the man who was left out of the state side, he got into the final squad, but was left out right at the end, and certainly he'd be pretty happy if he can kick this goal. Bring that margin out now to over 10 goals if he kicks this.
He aims for that left-hand goal post. The wind's going to bring it back nicely. That's a beautiful kick from Fisher. That's his first score for the game. So that goal to Fisher takes Glenelg to 12-12, leading West 2-9. And Daniel Frangos, I think that's a pretty good call by you. That 5 goals, 8, I think is well and truly going to be broken. And who knows what the lowest score by West at... well, the lowest score ever by West Adelaide is. I can tell you, I saw them kick 2 goals 2 one day at Alberton.
Right, 2-2.
Dexter Kennedy's first game for the club. They kicked 2 goals 2.
Wasn't he? Right,
yep.
So, well, at least they've improved on that. I wonder what their lowest score ever is at Broad Spectrum Oval. That may be under threat.
Hollands, quick handball to Cupido. Back in the direction of Filkey, but he's set upon. And the Bays again, causing the stoppage. That defence, solid as a rock.
I'll tell you what, has a side ever kept in the SANFL league ranks a side like Norwood to 1 goal and then another league side in West to 2 in the same season? Would that have ever happened?
Be interesting to look up. I'm sure we'll be able to find that out, but not at our fingertips at this moment. Ball comes out to Mules, to Bode. Bode will have to go on the right foot. He does, nicely. McGregor's going to be beaten for height by Rowe. And Rowe's there, can he keep it in? He does, kicks along the line. Clark takes the mark, feeds it off quickly to Brown. Brown hands to Cupido, makes him stretch. Cupido gets around the tackle there of Cranston, bombs one long towards the square. Here's Moran in front, takes it.
Good mark, good mark.
And Moran to kick one of those 3 goals West Adelaide need to avoid their lowest ever score.
Daniel's on the edge of his seat here.
Well, it's a big kick in the context of West Adelaide's history, really, and Moran would be hoping to play for the Adelaide Crows later this season. He hasn't had a game this season.
And I think Moran's done quite well here. I reckon he marked it tighter in the pocket than that, and he's on a pretty straight angle there. He's kicked it and put it straight through. So there's a little bit of breathing space there for West Adelaide. They go to 3 goals 9, trailing 12-12 on that Cockatoo Ridge Wine scoreboard.
I think it's Moran's best SANFL league game out here today, and I saw him a couple of weeks ago. He was a bit underdone, but he certainly looked a lot better today, and he's pretty versatile too. He can play in the ruck, he can play full forward, centre-half forward. You can play him at centre-half back as well, as we saw.
Plays with vigour too, I think, doesn't he?
He's got a bit of skill,
big body,
too.
and I think he puts the body in.
Yep.
So, and that's what West Adelaide need, and certainly I would think the Crows need something like that too.
Good move to put him at full forward now.
So it's Lenny Clark with the tap down, taken by Holmes. Allen it is. The free kick to Glenelg. Is Lenny Clark involved with another skirmish there? No. So it's Allen taking the free kick, plays on to Matty Bode straight away. Lovely kick by Bode, looking for Panozzo. That's lace out to Panozzo on the wing. Brilliant first half by Panozzo today. Quite a third quarter. Kicks the ball over, and that's Allen again. What a key player Ty Allen is to Glenelg. Gets that hard ball. He's the Josh Carr of Glenelg. Kicks the ball to Hinge. Hinge played very useful. I saw Hinge last year in defence play some wonderful football, but in attack today he's been a revelation. Kick by Hinge, no mark taken. West Adelaide clean up. Jeremy Rowe handball across. That's Slattery. Handball back to Cupido coming from Hollands. Cupido over to Greg Rowe. Greg Rowe kicks, looking for Morris. Morris takes the mark, plays on. Back to Lenny Clark. Lenny Clark's got to pick this up. Getting a bit of a boo from the crowd. Handball across. Bailey. Second leading possession kick getter in the league. coming back to Cupido. Cupido's just got to kick long this time. Finds Nathan Brown, his captain. How often we called that today? Cupido to Brown. Brown streaming forward, kicking a ball about 35 metres, looking for a mark up forward, and it's going to be paid. And it's taken by Glenelg. And who's that?
That man, Sugars.
Sugars, right.
Sugars now out towards McConnell. Not sure if he's got an opponent at the moment, McConnell. Always seems to be on his own. Over the top to Holmes. Holmes, little chip kick, uses the ball beautifully on both sides of the body, but as soon as I say that, didn't find his target in Adlington. Bailey, his kick is towards the outer side, and can't quite pick up that player out there. He's not showing a number. High fly there by Morris.
Great mark.
Morris feeds it off to Pisanti. Pisanti's handball to Brown. They're just stopping and starting. Back to Cupido. Thump it towards the goal square. It's a high, long kick. Underneath it, there was Moran. Couldn't take it. Oh,
high
tackle. High. Yep. Fisher. And Fisher can kick West fourth and put them within 5 points of that record.
Oh, the record's under Fred here. 5 goals, 8.
All the interest.
Lowest ever score against Glenelg, 5-8-38. If he kicks this, they go to 4-9-33.
Nathan Brown just coming off for West Adelaide. He's tried hard all day, as he has all year. So Fisher's put it through. So that takes West Adelaide to 4 goals, 9. Trailing Glenelg 12-12. It's a Glenelg win today, but I guess the interest is fairly academic on whether West can kick beat their lowest ever score against Glenelg.
And amazingly, that, as we said before, that was a winning score. That 5-8 West Adelaide kicked against Glenelg in that same game. Glenelg must have obviously kicked less than 5 goals, and that is amazing. But it must have been pretty wet out there that day.
1921 might have been a different style of football then.
6 goals, 1 the Bays might have kicked in.
Different type of flood as well.
Yeah. Ball back in the centre. West Adelaide clearing the ball away through Filkey. Can't take the mark. There was Morris. Overruns the ball. Mops up for Glenelg. Sugars played a very useful game in defence today, Sugars. Handballs across to that man, McConnell. I think someone said today McConnell doesn't knock up a lot of stats. I reckon this would be his highest game stats he'd have.
Yep.
Oh, taken there by Anderson. Beautifully tackled by Glenelg. That's got to be holding the ball. Umpire says it's held to him. That's a charity to be let off from that. And was that Ty Allen again?
I guess McConnell's normally just left in the goal square, isn't he, or forward pocket, and doesn't have that opportunity. And this is good to just see him have a bit of a run around.
So it's Gilhouse versus Martin. A couple of the youngsters going up for it.
Yeah, I'm sure McConnell will be enjoying this freedom, just running off half back and just being very creative all day.
Ruck contest comes away. Hilfenhaus.
Here we go.
Block. He went to McConnell. McConnell kicked it forward. There was McCormack coming out strongly over the footy. You know that about him. Tackle. There was Slattery. Umpire paid it. He was looking right into the sun. And it was almost as though he saw that on delayed telecast, the umpire, and paid it to Slattery. And Slattery comes away towards the outer. Has he kicked it out of bounds? In fact, Cupido complains about the kick. And the boundary umpire's going to throw it in. 25 around from the Tiger goal, Daniel.
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest kick, and that just sums up West Adelaide. They are not the most direct side in the competition. They do go wide and have a lot of possessions to kick just 4 goals.
Here's Cupido on the right foot. Kick out in front of his teammate in Hartlett. Hartlett doesn't have a lot to kick to, so he's going to go across the ground again. Over Bailey's head in the direction of Hollands, who takes a good mark. Hollands feeds off quickly. Slipping over on that occasion was Hartlett.
Buckwell.
Back to Allen. Allen to block. Taken there by the West Adelaide player in Kurt Thompson, who I made the mistake before in calling him Hartlett, and who was in fact Thompson.
And that was Ben Fisher.
That was Fisher. So I'm getting lost, and I'll hand it over to you, John.
Stephen Bailey takes a handball. Lovely tackle put on him, and the kick virtually dribbled off the boot. Glenelg clean up. This is Holmes coming out of defence, playing a different sort of a game today, Holmes. There's Grimer, best man on the ground, takes that mark, virtually centre wing. 5 goals, 1 to Grimer today in a fantastic performance. Kicks the ball up there and finds Block. Very useful game as well, Block. Not the best of kicks, though. West Adelaide coming out of defence through Willets over the ball. Hinge, handballs across to Kirkby. Had a quiet game today, Kirkby. Centres the ball and Ty Allen. That's a good kick. Ty Allen will kick into the wind. I think he wants to lay this one off, though. I don't think he wants to shoot for goal. Goes to the pocket to the leading player. Is it McConnell? No, in front for West Adelaide. Nice mark taken there by Kurt Thompson in defence.
Yeah, McConnell is actually up there. He's now roaming in that forward line. He's everywhere.
He wants to kick another goal, I reckon. Mark taken by Ben Fisher for West Adelaide half-back line. Hartlett's by himself in the middle of the ground, ignores that, goes short.
Oh, well done, Alan.
Yeah, well done, Alan, again. He's a hard man. Over the ball for West Adelaide was Kurt Thompson. Umpire says, I'll come in, and a changeover of umpires there. The umpire comes in and bounces.
Ty Allen, of course, played a lot of football in the reserves last year. Can you believe it? This season, one of the best performers in the competition.
Same with Doldig too,
yep,
Daniel. And they've really, their fitness levels, I think, have really... Doldig featured in the budget today, says that his fitness this year is much better and he's benefiting from it.
And I think Allen is as well. He's certainly... those two players have played, pretty much been regulars.
Holmes takes the mark, goes to the outer side of the ground looking for Sherwood. It is Sherwood, kicks the ball forward looking for that
there
man,
he
McConnell.
Is. Oh!
McConnell's putting his name down now as just about best on ground. I think he's really approaching that. Grimer has been the one up forward, but McConnell's just controlled the game in the second half.
I think he wants a goal. He's making out here. He wants to pass this. I reckon he wants a goal, but with the wind it might not be easy. He set it up.
McConnell's kick forward, looking for McGregor. The smallest player on the ground was the high flyer. Allen around his body. Will he get the bounce? He doesn't.
Oh.
Stayed straight. Didn't have the Warney leg break to it, and it went through for one behind. Glenelg 12-84, leading West 4-9-33. Footy brought in by Willets. His kick's marked by McCormack, who finds Thompson. Thompson plays on quickly, kicks long down the line.
Kick.
Moran's there, he got under the footy. Sherwood's there, he's going to mop up. Mules has done himself an injury, has he? Shepherded there beautifully by Gilhouse, not the Tasmanian fast bowler. Away to...
He ran like him there.
He ran like
away
him,
to Sugars.
Did.
He shepherded beautifully.
Sugars' kick out towards the outer side. There is Holmes. Holmes' kick is a good one. Out in front of Kane. There's just so many Glenelg players that can get big numbers in possessions in any given week. If it's not one, it's the other.
Yep, they've got they've got 21 contributors every week. They're probably their players from about 15 to 21. They're good. They're all good players.
And a guy like Holmes, who really had a quiet first half, has come really into it in the second half as well. They've got guys that can lift to that next level very well.
Rudolph, 65 out. His short kick in Doldig's direction, going back with courage there with the Bloods. Is Blackwell. He finds McConnell.
That man.
I'll mark it down. He hasn't got a goal today, and he didn't get one last week.
No, I don't think he even got one against Sturt a couple of weeks ago.
Look, he'd be dirty, wouldn't he? He'd be dirty on
he's
this.
kicked 37 goals this season.
Yep.
And he's the 4th in the SANFL leading goal kickers. So Grimer's catching him, though.
Yep.
Grimer's on 32 now.
And Grimer's averaging 3 goals a game now, which is a phenomenal performance for a guy that plays centre-half forward mainly. McConnell kicks. He's put it straight through. Even the goal umpire wanted to just make a display of that. And there goes the siren, and that's a 58-point margin to Glenelg. 13 goals, 13. To West Adelaide, 4 goals, 9.
Just the icing on the cake there to have McConnell. Probably might give him best on ground honours with that last goal there at the end, and a great win here for the Tigers, and they consolidate their spot at the top of the SANFL league ladder. West Adelaide remain at the foot of the table, and I still wouldn't question West's endeavour. I thought they were pretty handy in that first half. Just the premiership quarter, Rob and John just broke the game open.
Certainly did, Daniel, and just a side that really, when it matters, 2 weeks in a row have done the business.
Exactly, when it matters in that 15-minute period in the third quarter, the Tigers just went away with it, and a fantastic win to get through pretty much well, unscathed. So that was a great performance.
Yeah, Glenelg really 8 points up at half-time, winning by 58 points. They really motored away in that second half and showed their class. We'll go through the goal scorers. Grimer with 5, Doldig with 2, singles to Hinge, Rudolph, Bode, Block, Fisher and McConnell. For West Adelaide, singles to Willits, Hartlett, Fisher and Moran.
And the record has been broken, of course. West Adelaide kicking only 4 goals 9. It's their lowest ever score against Glenelg.
And a losing score.
And a losing score this time. And, well, I would like to know when the last time 2 league clubs in the one season have both kicked their lowest scores against the one side.
Yep.
So Glenelg have kept Norwood and West now to their lowest ever scores against them.
Okay.
One thing I might add is I really believe Glenelg's style of football is suited to finals.
Yep.
The way they play suits that down to the ground,
and their personnel.
It's going to have to take a team to play at their absolute best to beat them.
Their bigs are very good. Their smalls are around the ball all the time too. So it's a 58-point margin here at Richmond Oval today in round 15. This is John Callaghan on behalf of Rob Green and Daniel Frangos signing off for Pine Lodge Studios.